Good evening, sports fans! Crow back for the one of the Token Minorities here today with GBA D-League Season 4, Week 7. Now this is going to look weird. We got Pokemon Showdown. Unfortunately, we had a DC during our Wi-Fi game about halfway, two-thirds of the way through. And in the interest of time, considering I was getting kind of iffy in my schedule, I said, you know, let's just do it in Showdown, so that way we could get it over with more quickly. And that's what we did. So there are going to be a few plays that are going to look a little weird, but I will explain that as we go along. So that way we can talk about the heart of this game, which is the very interesting nature that hacks played throughout it. Alrighty, so you know my team of Jamokes right there on the front of the screen. We got Tornado Staring, we've got Silvally Electric, in case you don't remember, it's a setup variant. We've got Steelix. I want to say the GOAT, but if I say that, then Tom is going to kill me. So, Steelix, this steely rock thing. Steely Dan, there we go. We got Mega Gallade. We've got Weavile and Mesprit. My opponent has got Thunderous Incarnate, Roserade, which I was very surprised about, actually. I don't know why when I have a Tornado Starion he's bringing it, but he's got it, so there it is. Clefable, Donphan, the Volcanion, which actually can be pretty darn threatening here, and of course the Hydreigon, which, like I said, other than Roserade, this was pretty much what I expected. I think I'm in good shape to handle this. I mean, the one thing I didn't prep for as much was Roserade, but that being said, Steelix deals with it pretty well. We've got my Tornado Starion, which outspeeds it and OHKOs it. I have ways for it. Weavile deals with it, so while I didn't prep for it specifically, I think I will be more than fine in dealing with it. So that's what I'm thinking. I know that my best lead is just the Tornado Starion, so that way if he leads with Clefable to get rocks up, or Donphan to get rocks up, or anything crazy, we'll be in good shape. So that, I believe, is my dominant strategy. Now, before we jump into the match, I wanted to let you guys know that we do have TTM merch. We do have LA Nidokings merch. Links are going to be in the description below. There's all kinds of stuff. Drake and Josh, The Office, you name it. We probably have it. So, check it out. Also want to give a shout out to everyone in my front office this week, including Kaz and Dallas and Stab and just all the other guys who help out so immensely every single week with mocks and team building and team revision. You guys are the greatest. Alright, so let's jump into this game. I'm going to hit the play button, and I will actually use the stop feature if I have to explain things. Currently I'm putting it at slow speed, but if I feel like it drags on too much, I'll put it to normal. Alright, so he leads off with the Hydreigon, and as I promised, I lead off with the Tornado Starion. Get the U-turn off turn 1. If he was Scarfed, I knew I could live anything, and otherwise we get big damage off with U-turn. In the original match, I did not get a crit there, but it actually doesn't end up mattering at all later, so we'll get to that when we get there. So he Thunder Waves on my Gallade. Oh, that actually really kind of hinders Gallade. So I taunt right there. I actually did taunt in the regular game. I switched my Tornado Starion in to take an Earthquake. I was hoping he wouldn't have Stone Edge. I go for a Hurricane. Yes, it says taunt, but I went for Hurricane in the game, and it missed. So, I go for a second Hurricane, it misses! What the heck? I know it went for 2 taunts there, but that was just to make up for the fact that 2 Hurricanes missed. Tom is going to be all over me this week. I just feel it now. Okay. I can't even stop laughing. It's legitimately hilarious to me at this point. So, we got Steelix here, though, which I don't think he has Flamethrower. I think it walls the Clefable perfectly here. So I'm going to set up the rocks as I go into my Gallade on this Hydreigon, which I'm not sure if he's Defog. He may or may not have it. He does not seem to have it. He goes to the Dark Pulse, does some damage, that's fine. I taunt on the switch because I didn't want him to try to defog or roost or do anything crazy, or even if he went to Clefable, I want to lock him only into Moonblast. He goes for the Rapid Spin. You know what? It's not that big of a deal. So I Hurricane and miss again. Yes, it says taunt. Once again, same thing. We missed 3 Hurricanes in a row as he gets a Stone Edge off. Big damage. Jeez, what the heck, man? So we get a U-turn off to at least get some damage, and we want to see what item he is. He goes for actually a Stone Edge here, and it missed, so that's why he went for Earthquake. He did go for Stone Edge. It did a little it would have done a little damage anyway. It wouldn't have mattered that much, but just to be consistent. So I U-turn out on the Clefable, go into Steelix, which is an awesome matchup considering I do not believe that he has the Flamethrower. He does reveal the Stealth Rock as I expected, and now I know this is not physically defensive Clefable. It might have some physically defensive bulk, but that did so much damage, which was awesome. I go into now Tornadus, Fairy, just in case he for some reason had Flamethrower and hadn't revealed it before. I knew I could take one, could go for a Defog. I have a lot of options and choices here. I also know he has Protect, so I'm just going to try to Defog the first turn, try to make him think that's what I'm doing. And he thinks maybe he can get a free KO on this thing. Nope, I'm finally going to hit a Hurricane, a Z Hurricane, a Supersonic Strike, and take Clefable out. Jeez, Torn, it took you long enough. How the war in Vietnam was years ago, dude. Come on, your vision has to have recovered by now. But anyway, we'll let that go. We're still going. It's 6-5. We can switch this thing in. So he has U-Turn, Thunderbolt. I don't think this Tornadus has anything for Steelix. Steelix is doing awesome in this game. I was fearing a Focus Blast there, or maybe even Nasty Plot plus Focus Blast. That's why I went for the Rock Slide. But hey, I'm leaning towards he might not have it, which is crazy. So he Stone Edges on my Mesprit here. And this, I'm hoping for no knockoff. If he has Stealth Rocks or something crazy like that. I feel like it wouldn't have Stealth Rocks, but if it did, that would be just awesome, and he wouldn't have knockoff. He does have it. Unfortunately, I just need to take this thing out, because otherwise, certain things on my team can't break through his team. For example, Silvally Electric. Ice Fang does, like, less than a third if it's not at +2, so we don't want to deal with that. He goes to the Tornadus and U-turns again. Fine. You know what? Mesprit was at such low a health. It was outsped by a lot of stuff. It was not worth keeping around. So I'm going to go into my Mega Gallade. Here's another moment of truth. I'm going to go for the light screen so that way anything can deal with this thing better once it goes down. You need it. No!
2012, and that shouldn't be alarming. He didn't play that last year. Big lightning bolt through the sky here at Wrigley, so the crowd oohs and ahs, and we told you there with thunderstorms in the forecast, such extreme heat.
Parahacks again. Any Earth Power is predicting a possible switch. I don't think that was really... I wasn't going to switch there, but good play on his part, I suppose. Ah, jeez. This is... At least I know he has Earth Power, I guess. But at this point, I'm going to go into Silvally, get some damage off. I know that I can Parting Shot if he goes into the Roserade right after. I want to see how much damage the multi-attack does. Does a good amount, telling me this isn't a super bulky Roserade, at least on the physically defensive side. I get a free switch into Steelix, seeing that Giga Drain is not going to do a ton, and Sludge Bomb is resisted. He Stun Spores, which is just insane to me. I set up rocks as he starts setting up spikes. I'm not a fan of this. I know that Heavy Slam should 2-hit KO, though, and if I could get that in 2-hit KO range, we will be in much better shape. I want to get these spikes away, though, if I can. It's kind of important because I don't want Silvally to possibly die to an Earth Power. That's kind of my priority, I think, here. We're at a 4-4 game. I think I have the advantage if I just play my cards right going forward. I'm going to go to the Tornadus, and he's going to set up another layer of spikes. That's fine. I need to defog these things away. Even though it gets my rocks away, it is what it is. So I'm going to taunt. I want him to not set up a Stun Spore. That's my first order business. And I know even if he went for Sludge Bomb, it doesn't KO anyway. So I defog on the incoming Thundurus. Incarnate, I see Defiant, which really almost confirms to me he is probably not Focus Blast. Maybe he has Superpower, but I still have the Troupple Berry, so I might be able to... Actually, I don't, because he knocks it off, but that was what I was thinking. Clearly, he doesn't have Superpower even, though. And he doesn't have Hammer Arm, he doesn't have anything to hit Steelix. I'm going to set my rocks right back up. Here's that Roserade, as I promised. I'm going to go into Tornadus Therian, which is going to not take a Stun Spore because it misses. So that's the one piece of hacks I get going in my favor, but I don't think it matters all that much. I taunt the Roserade because he gets crit and a poison, which means next turn I can't Hurricane. Because otherwise my Tornadus would go down, and I rather would keep this thing alive a little bit longer because of its speed. I go into my Steelix here because I know he can't do anything to it at all. And I also know if he gets up one layer of spikes, I should be safe. He just can't have 3. I need to be able to live with Earth Power from that Volcanion. I Heavy Slam on his switch into the Thundurus. I see a Z move, not Z fighting, not Z fighting. Thank God it's just Z Fly. We're fine. Steelix gets his first KO of the season. There we go.
Everyone else is on the heels. Look at him. He jumped before the snap of the ball. It made contact.
That is hype. I can't believe that, but Steelix is putting in the finest of work. Steelix is Steely Dan. And we are paralyzed as he roosts. Jeez. I mean, I don't know. I guess I would have heavy slammed there. You know, I was kind of foddering this thing off anyways. I wanted to get a safe switch into Weavile, which can basically wreck the rest of his team at this point. Except he has Yachi Berry! Oh no, if he has Fire Blast, I am screwed completely. Thank God he has Flamethrower, and we managed to survive. So, Low Kick will take this thing out from there, just in case he decided to switch to Volcanion or something crazy happened from there. Now, I don't want to lose Weavile just in case I have to deal with Roserade with priority for some reason. It just didn't really matter what thing went down. Also, Tornadus wasn't hitting Hurricanes anyway. I much would rather had Weavile do it, so I multi-attack with my incoming Silvally, and I take the Earth Power as I had hoped. We're going to multi-attack again, and here in comes the Roserade. Now, this is an interesting proposition here because the Roserade is at 71%. Ice Fang will not KO. However, Ice Fang has a 5% chance to miss. He stuns Spores for some reason that I don't understand. But I just can't miss here, and I double-checked to make sure that multi-attack will guaranteed KO. We actually get a crit anyway, but I literally double-checked because I did not want any chance of missing after Tornadus missed 3 out of 3 Hurricanes this game. Jeez, Tom is just going to murder me this week. But anyway, at least we win. We won 2-0. So this was, a haxy game, but we won, so I'm not going to complain. Good game, Aaron. I think he put up a good fight. Not the easiest matchup in the world for me, but I really liked the way we pulled this game out in the end, especially given, you know what would have happened? If that Glade didn't get paralyzed, I set up a light screen, I go into Silvally Electric right there, set up a Swords Dance, because then Volcanion can't do anything, Earth Power does 30%, right? So... and then Tornadus and Thundurus can't do anything because it's got... Knockoff can't do anything because I have an item that can't be knocked off. Z-Fly can't do anything. U-Turn, I guess, can do a little bit, sure. Thunderbolt won't do anything due to the resistance and due to lack of investment. So, at that point, the best he could do was Earth Power. And I got up to +2. Everything in the rest of his team was OHKO'd. And the only thing we didn't outspeed was Thundurus, which couldn't do much damage to it. So he really lucked out there. That's for sure. With that one, yes, I know there were some hacks going both ways, and yes, I missed 3 Hurricanes. But even despite all that hacks against us, overwhelmingly against us, he had one thing that didn't go right for him. And that was the Stun Spore miss on the Tornadus, which ended up not mattering too much considering he got a crit poison right after it. Despite all that, we overcame. We overcame it, and I was so happy with this. And you know what? We'll take it and run. I wish it could have been a 4-0. It should have been a 4-0 maybe, but let's keep going. We're just going to keep going. That's all we can do. Next week, we are going to play, I believe it's going to be Randy. For the first time ever, I will be playing him. He was the runner-up last season. Certainly, I'm looking forward to playing him then, but until then, why don't we jump into Sports Center for the week, because this game and this narration is over. Coach Stevens, so this week was obviously not a fun game with respect to hacks. You guys suffered the brunt of hacks in that game, including 2 Hurricane misses and many other things. What do you believe that says about you and your team, the fact that you guys still won?
Well, you're just gonna, you're going to have ups and downs. I thought our guys did a really good job of weathering the initial storm.
But it's very clear you guys need a lot of improvements, including the Hurricane accuracy from Tornadus Therian. You guys need to learn how to dodge Toxic from moves. Seriously, what do you think about all this stuff?
We've got to improve on some of that stuff, but it's all about responding. They're going to make their runs. They're going to have their moments. And, you know, the most encouraging thing to me was that we weathered that storm, because it's easy to kind of fall apart there.
Obviously, we know Silvally Electric came to this game. What is your comment on its coverage for the week?
Just that's a unique coverage for a big.
So despite the hacks in the game that clearly favored them, do you believe that maybe a couple of the small missteps you guys had might have turned the game the other way? And if so, talk about it.
I thought we were really playing well, but it was just like we were doing everything we could just to hang around. And we missed some open opportunities. And them going big impacted us. There's no question about that. We had to go big early in the third, and we'll look at all those things from this game and figure out what we do next. We scored enough to kind of keep it at bay, but this team has been like that all year.
Thank you, Coach Stevens.
Thanks.
And now, let's hop into Coach Danza's post-game speech. So yes, today was a great win. Blah, blah, blah. I could go on for hours about how this game went. Yes, there was hacks. Yes, there were a couple of dicey moments. Yes, we managed to pull it out, and I am thankful. But you know what? I would rather sing my praises and convey my messages through a song this week. Let's go! Push it to the limit. Walk along the razor's edge. But don't look down, just keep my head or I'll be finished. Open up the limit. Past the point of no return, we've reached the top, but still we've got to learn how to keep it. Hit the wheel and double the stakes. Throttle wide open like a bat out of hell. We crash the gates. Crash the gates! Going for the back of beyond. Nothing is gonna stop me. There's nothing that strong. So close now. We're nearly at the brink. So push it. Now that's all for this edition of Sports Center. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe if you like this video. And we will definitely have another Sports Center coming your way next week. See you then. Also, before we actually conclude the video, I wanted to do a quick shout out to Amphibus, who was the source for the Push It to the Limit epic soundtrack. So his link and the link to the full song will be in the description below in order to support him. Thank you so much.